From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang in review. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday welcomed Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko and Defense Minister Kihara Minoru of Japan in a courtesy call at the Heroes Hall in Malacañang Palace. The Japanese Foreign and Defense Ministers are in the Philippines for the second Foreign and Defense Ministerial Meeting, or 2+2, the highest consultative mechanism to further deepen security and defense policy coordination, as well as security cooperation between the two nations. Let us listen to the opening statements of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., Japanese Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko, and Defense Minister Kihara Minoru.
A great pleasure and honor to welcome the Foreign Minister, the Honorable Kamikawa Yoko, and the Defense Minister of Japan, the Honorable Kihara Minoru, to the Philippines today for a very important event that we have been, our two countries have been working very hard to achieve. I'm glad that having witnessed the commencement, the beginnings of this agreement, that it has now come to fruition, and that we are ready now to sign the reciprocal agreement. And your presence here increases our confidence in the importance that the Japanese government puts on these extremely important agreements that we have. And I'm very glad that we have come to this day. So once again, welcome to the Philippines. I'm happy that you were able to come and visit, to witness or to be part of this very important event. Good morning and welcome.
本日は上川大臣、そして木原大臣をフィリピンにお迎えでき大変嬉しく思います。本日は 2+2 という非常に重要なイベント、また RAA の署名という非常に重要なイベントのためにお越しいただいたと思いますが、それを直に目撃することができ非常に嬉しいと思います。このように新しい合意についてその始まりを目撃できるということは非常に重要なことですし、このように一堂に会して RAA をキックオフできるということは非常に重要なイベントだと思います。また木原大臣、上川大臣にお越しいただき、フィリピンでこれを署名できるということは、日本政府としてこの RAA の署名をいかに重要視しているかということの証左だと思います。改めまして、本日はフィリピンにようこそお越しいただきました。
ただいまは大統領から大変温かなメッセージをいただき、またこの会談の重要性についてご指摘いただきましてありがとうございます。表敬をすることができましたこの機会に対しまして心から光栄にございますし、また感謝申し上げます。
Thank you very much for heartwarming welcome from Your Excellency, and also thank you very much for pointing out the importance of the Japan and Philippines alliance. I'm very much honored to have the opportunity to make a courtesy call to Your Excellency President Marcos.
岸田文雄総理からもくれぐれもよろしくと、ご伝言をいただいておりますのでお伝えさせていただきたいと思います。
I would like to convey Prime Minister Kishida's best wishes to you as well at this occasion.
この日本とフィリピンの間におきましては幅広い分野でまた具体的な協力が進展をしております。
Japan and the Philippines have made concrete progress in a wide range of areas of cooperation.
特に昨年の11月の首脳会談におきましてこの交渉開始を決定いたしましたこの RAA の部隊間の協力円滑化協定に署名をすることができますことは大変大きな成果であると考えております。
In particular, the fact that we are able to sign the RAA today is a great achievement. Following that, the leaders decided to launch negotiations at last November's summit meeting.
法の支配に基づく自由で開かれた国際秩序の維持強化をすべく、大統領、議大統領のご指導力の下におきまして、二国間の連携を強化してまいりたいと考えております。
To maintain and strengthen a free and open international order based on the rule of law, we would like to strengthen our partnership under Your Excellency's leadership. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
本日は大統領に表敬する機会をいただきまして大変光栄に思っております。
Mr. President, this is indeed a tremendous honor for me to be granted an opportunity for an office call.
日本とフィリピンの関係というのは大統領と岸田総理のリーダーシップの下で防衛協力交流の面でも大きな進展を見せています。
Thanks to the exceptional leadership by Mr. President and Prime Minister Kishida, our two nations has made great strides in defense cooperation and exchanges.
RAN の署名というのはその協力関係を象徴し防衛協力の実効性を強化するものであると大歓迎をしております。
The signature of the Reciprocal Access Agreement today represents the cooperative relationship that our two nations enjoy, and I welcome this new development which reinforces the effectiveness of our defense cooperation.
引き続き自由で開かれたインド太平洋の実現のため、テオドロ国防大臣とともに両国間の防衛協力、交流を一層強化していきたいと、そのように考えております。
I am committed to working with my good colleague Secretary Teodoro to further enhance our defense cooperation and exchanges in order to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific.
You just heard the opening statements of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., Japanese Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko, and Defense Minister Kihara Minoru.
Dateline Malacañang.
Following the joint courtesy call, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday witnessed the ceremonial signing of the Philippines-Japan Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA by Department of National Defense or DND Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr. and Japanese Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko. The RAA will facilitate mutually beneficial defense cooperation between the Philippines and Japan by establishing a framework for the conduct of such cooperation, as well as defining the status of the visiting force and its civilian component. The Philippine-Japan RAA is a commitment made at the inaugural Philippines-Japan Foreign and Defense Ministerial Meeting, or 2+2, in April of 2022. The first formal negotiations were held in Tokyo on the 29th and 30th of November last year. A virtual line-by-line reading of the RAA main text, the agreed minutes, and 2 records of discussions were held on June 11th. The Philippines and Japan celebrate 68 years of normalized relations this year and 12 years of strengthened strategic partnership. Japan is one of the Philippines' 4 strategic partners with 264 bilateral agreements. The treaty will have to be ratified by the legislative bodies of the 2 countries before it comes into force. The Philippines has been strengthening defense and security engagements with its long-standing military ally, the United States, as well as other countries, while also beefing up the capabilities of the armed forces of the Philippines amid increasing Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea.
Dateline Malacañang.
After the signing of the Philippines-Japan Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA on Monday, the second Philippines-Japan Foreign and Defense Ministerial Meeting or 2+2 was held at the Shangri-La the 4th, Manila in Taguig City. The 2+2 Foreign and Defense Ministers Meeting is the highest consultative mechanism between the Philippines and Japan to date. It strengthens the decades-old strategic partnership of the Philippines and Japan towards their shared goals of ensuring peace and stability in the region, promoting regional economic growth, and addressing the increasing and complex regional and global challenges. The meeting was attended by Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA Secretary Enrique Manalo and Department of National Defense or DND Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr. with their counterparts Foreign Minister Kamikawa Yoko and Defense Minister Kihara Minoru of Japan. In a press briefing after the 2+2 meeting, Chodoro said, "The RAA has no significant differences with the Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement or VFA with Australia and the United States." Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Secretary Manalo expressed openness to the possibility that the Philippines would have a Mutual Defense Treaty or MDT and Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA with Japan. Let us listen to the statements of Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo and Department of National Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr. after the 2+2 meeting.
Foreign Minister Japan Kamikawa Yoko, Defense Minister Japan Kihara Minoru, Secretary of National Defense Veto Jr., members of the media, colleagues in government, ladies and gentlemen. Today we convene the second Philippines-Japan Foreign Defense Ministerial meeting. This meeting marks a milestone in our decade-old strategic partnership. We reaffirmed our shared goals of ensuring peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region, promoting regional economic growth, and addressing the increasing and complex challenges in the region and beyond. Amidst the backdrop of the geopolitical situation in this and other regions, which has put the stability and predictability of the rules-based international order under stress, we discussed global and regional issues of common concern. I was honored to witness, along with the President this morning, the signing today of our Reciprocal Access Agreement, an outcome of the hard work and dedication of our competent negotiators. The RAA brings our defense partnership to an unprecedented height. We also explored other measures to enhance and coordinate our defense and security policies. Our two countries understand that our aspiration for peace and progress also requires economic resilience. Thus, we agreed to further deepen economic cooperation and enhance our ability to react to unexpected economic developments. We also noted the need to strengthen cybersecurity systems. As an archipelagic nation, we value our partnership with Japan on improving the capacity of our Philippine Coast Guard. We welcome the signing last May of the exchange of notes on the Maritime Safety Capability and Improvement Project for the procurement of 5 additional PCG vessels. These assets will help enhance our maritime domain awareness and our ability to patrol our vast waters to conduct maritime law enforcement. Related to this, we also discussed potential space-based cooperation. We appreciate Japan's long-term commitment to peace and development in Mindanao, which enhances our efforts to lay the foundation for good governance in Bangsamoro. We have broadened our business and economic ties through the Philippines-Japan Economic Partnership Agreement, despite some challenges. We will continue to work together to enhance our trade and investment relations. And we also recognize the potential gains from our trilateral cooperation with the United States. Finally, we reaffirmed our shared commitment to multilateralism. We discussed common approaches regarding the NPT or Non-Proliferation Treaty and our participation in the FMCT Friends or the Fissile Material Cutoff Treaty. Ours is a resilient partnership anchored on shared values and the enduring friendship between our two peoples. From today's 2+2 meeting, I'm confident that this strategic partnership will flourish, delivering dividends for our peoples and serving as a pillar of regional stability. Thank you.
And the Secretary Manalo, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today it is indeed an honor to be part of the signing of this historic Reciprocal Access Agreement between Japan and the Philippines. It will put flesh into our already strong, robust bilateral relations, and it will be a great step towards the concretization of trust. And now comes the work of building confidence among the members of the Japanese Self-Defense Force and the armed forces of the Philippines. It will also lead to greater interoperability, exchanges of information, and other cooperative activities both bilaterally and multilaterally under the aegis of a rules-based international order and the upholding of the essence, principles, and concepts of international law, particularly UNCLOS. On the humanitarian assistance and disaster reduction side, we can increase our partnerships and cooperation in different systems, and especially in disaster response. With this signing, we look forward to increased cooperation and work in order to bring this agreement not merely in exchanges of signed deeds, but in actual work and actions in order to bring greater stability to this part of the world. Thank you.
You just heard the statements of DFA Secretary Enrique Manalo and DND Secretary Gilberto Chudoro Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
On Tuesday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the inauguration of Compostela Works, the newest and largest steel mill of the Philippines' flagship steel company, Steel Asia Manufacturing Corporation, or SAMC. The establishment of Compostela Works focuses on strengthening the local production of steel rebars that is important to the development of the Philippine economy and create thousands of jobs for the Filipino people. The project is also supported by the administration's Tatak Pinoy Law and the Build Better More program that aims to revitalize the growth in the country's steel industry and infrastructure. In his speech, the president shared his vision of a self-reliant Philippine steel industry. The chief executive also directed the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, and Department of Energy, or DOE, to work together in improving the country's steel industry. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
I am excited to join everyone here for the inauguration of the Steel Asia Manufacturing Corporation's newest rebar mill, the Compostela Works. There is so much to be excited about. Steel is the backbone of many industries. Many industries depend on steel for their further development. In 1979, my father launched a strategic plan to develop 11 major industrial projects. This included copper, phosphate, petrochem, and steel, amongst others. Economic and political challenges have derailed our dreams of fully developing the steel industry. But today we mark an important milestone in our goal of building and reviving our steel industry as we inaugurate Steel Asia's Compostela Works. Once the Compostela Works becomes fully operational, it will have an annual production capacity of 1 million tons of rebar, making it the country's largest steel plant. What is even more exciting is that this is just one of Steel Asia's projects over the next 3 years, aimed at developing a strong Philippine steel industry that no longer relies on importation to meet our steel requirements. These projects align perfectly with the recently signed Tatak Pinoy Law, a law which aims to reduce our country's import dependence and to be a mother industry to the manufacturing sector. Apart from that, it also supports this administration's flagship Build Better More program that seeks to spur industrial growth and infrastructure development. We must thank Steel Asia Manufacturing Corporation for bringing this state-of-the-art steel plant to fruition, and more importantly, for bringing meaningful employment to the 300 personnel in this plant. This does not yet include the 1,500 jobs that it will generate in the local community. For nearly 6 decades, you have been a formidable player in our country's steel industry. Over 70% of all infrastructure, housing, power, industrial, and other office developments in the country use Steel Asia rebar. It signifies your indispensable role in our socio-economic transformation. With Steel Asia's increased manufacturing capacity of 3 million tons annually, you will also solidify our position in the global market. I would like to temper, however, this celebration that we are enjoying today with an important note that the government and private sector has to do more to develop the industry further. At present, the Philippines is the only member state in ASEAN without its own integrated steel mill. Thus, there is limited production of certain steel products as the country still imports basic raw materials. The Compostela Works is one step forward in building a more sustainable and highly linked steel industry. To support our social and economic growth, I encourage everyone to work with us in addressing the remaining supply chain gaps in the steel industry. I invite all stakeholders to pursue more investments aimed at reducing, if not eliminating, the limited raw materials situation. We certainly recognize that much needs to be done towards achieving a reliable supply chain that will give birth to a new and integrated manufacturing industry. So I call on the Department of Trade and Industry, as lead, along with the Department of Energy and other agencies and stakeholders, to resolve the industry's concerns regarding high power and logistics costs, which make up the bulk of its production plant's inputs. So I look forward to the formulation and submission of a concrete and feasible plan to improve our steel trade balance over the next years. In consultation with industry players, I urge the DTI to update the iron and steel roadmap to ensure its continued stability and relevance amidst domestic and global challenges and trends. Let this inauguration attest to this administration's unwavering commitment to invest in our people, in our nation, and our future. By localizing the production of basic steel products, we contribute to the generation of more inclusive and sustainable opportunities, the diversification of our steel industry, and the stability of our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the era of a bagong Pilipinas, a nation full of high hopes, an economy that promises a bright future, and the people driven by the burning passion to excel, to succeed. Just like steel, we Filipinos are innately strong, resilient, and indomitable. So let us work together for a more globally competitive, prosperous, innovative, and empowered bagong Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang industriyang Pilipino, mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. then led the opening of the Palarong Pambansa in Cebu City late Tuesday afternoon. In his speech, the president told young Filipino athletes to let this year's Palarong Pambansa be a training ground for them to demonstrate their unwavering spirit, talent, and dedication. The chief executive stressed that the annual national sporting event is more than just an inter-school or inter-regional competition, as it is also a platform where future professional athletes, Olympians, and servant leaders are being discovered and honed. In the same event, President Marcos Jr. also assured that the victims of the recent flash flood in Cebu will be provided immediate assistance by the national government. The President also directed the Office of the President and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, to aid the local government units, or LGUs, affected by the flooding. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Before we start, I have received initial reports on the effects of heavy rains here in Cebu yesterday. They resulted in flash floods, structural collapse, and damage to property. At the moment, the concerned agencies are actively conducting SNR search and rescue operations. Rest assured, national and local governments are working closely to bring speedy help to those who are affected by the heavy rains, especially in Carmen, in Minglanilla, and Cebu. I also direct the Office of the President and the DSWD to provide assistance to the local government units affected by the flooding. We include all those affected in our thoughts and in our prayers. However, despite these challenges, we remain resilient and focused on the goal, just like the athletes here who are about to compete in the Palarong Pambansa. It is therefore with a great deal of pride that I welcome all our athletes, our trainers, our coaches, and guests to the opening of Palarong Pambansa 2024. The Palarong Pambansa stands as the country's pinnacle of national sporting events. Today, we continue this important legacy, celebrating not just the games, but also celebrating the unity, the camaraderie, and the national pride that these games inspire. This event is more than just an inter-school, inter-regional competition. It is also a platform where we discover, where we develop and hone future professional athletes, Olympians, and servant leaders. Of the 541 athletes competing in this year's Palarong Pambansa, I am certain many will become record holders and champions in their respective fields, not only at the national level, but I'm sure also internationally. This year's edition of Palarong Pambansa is particularly special because it marks many firsts. For one, we welcome the debut participation of athletes from the National Academy of Sports and Philippine Overseas Schools. Dance sports will become a regular feature of this game, a fitting tribute to Cebu, which is one of the most active cities and provinces in the dance sport competition. We also have soft tennis, karate-do, football for secondary girls, and esports. All of these are set to make their debut as exhibition sports in this year's Palarong. Moreover, this year's Palarong Pambansa will see the integration of technology in web platforms, social media, game statistics, and live streaming. It will not only connect games to families and fans around the world, but also provide valuable data that we can use to improve performance in future competitions. This occasion holds enormous significance beyond just sports. The values and virtues that will be displayed and put into practice here, such as excellence, teamwork, discipline, perseverance, and most importantly, sportsmanship, are the same ideals that we need to succeed in life and build a great nation. Let this week-long competition showcase not only the mental and physical fortitude of our athletes, but also the fortitude and strength of the Filipino heart and the Filipino spirit. To all our athletes, let this serve as your training ground and demonstrate the unwavering spirit, talent, and dedication of all young Filipinos. It is your moment to shine. Participate actively in your events. Play with pride, tenacity, play with integrity. show the Filipinos' indomitable character, our graciousness in defeat, and our magnanimity in victory. In this way, you will bring pride to the schools and regions that you represent. I congratulate you all in advance. You are already champions, all of you that are here. Your hard work and determination have made you true champions in the hearts and minds of your family, of your schools, your communities, regardless of whatever the outcomes will be during this Palarong. To the coaches and the education officials, thank you for your continuing support and commitment to the development of your wards. Let us continue to guide them towards success and instill in them the values of hard work, of discipline, and perseverance as they move forward with their education and with their training as athletes. To the local government officials and the people of Cebu, thank you for making this event possible. It was a very great success. It is a very great achievement that you were able to manage to put together this spectacular event in such a short time. And I know that there were many sleepless nights before we considered ourselves ready for this, but for that, we thank you. Because your warmth, your hospitality, and enthusiasm are clearly, truly remarkable. I'm confident these will undoubtedly lead to the triumph of this year's Palarong Pambansa. So let us celebrate this occasion together with joy and with camaraderie. Let us build a brighter future for our youth, for sports, and for our country, so that through the fires and the forging of competition, we become stronger and closer as a nation towards the bagong Pilipinas that we aspire. Sa bisa ng kapangyarihan na ipinagkaloob sa akin bilang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, idinedeklara ko ang pagbubukas ng Palarong Pambansa sa taong ito. Mabuhay ang Palarong Pambansa 2024! Mabuhay kayong mga atleta! Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas!
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday, July 10th, called on dam operators across the country to maximize their facilities not only to provide water but also to generate renewable energy. The President made the appeal during the impounding process ceremony of the Upper Wawa Dam in Montalban, Rizal Province, urging dam operators to partner with the government for a more sustainable and energy-efficient country. President Marcos also stressed the need for more multi-purpose dams to address the increasing water demand. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
In the past years, Metro Manila and its surrounding areas have constantly grappled with water shortage problems. The Angat Dam, where the metropolis is sourcing a significant bulk of its water, can no longer meet the needs of around almost 20 million people living in the area. After all, it's more than 50 years, built in the 60s and completed during the time of my father, when the population of Metro Manila was just 3 million. Suffice it to say, we need a new source of water to ensure the water security of Metro Manila and surrounding areas now and in the decades to come. And that's why we are all very happy to be here today to lead the impounding process ceremony of the Upper Wawa Dam. This significant milestone marks the completion of the construction of the dam component of Phase 2 of the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project. The Upper Wawa Dam will be the biggest water source to be built in the country in over 50 years, next to the Angat Dam. It is commendable that it was completed with remarkable speed despite the COVID-19 pandemic, which slowed down the progress of projects and industries during the time that this was being built. Having been accomplished a year ahead of schedule, this monumental development has set a new standard for infrastructure projects of similar magnitude in terms of scale and impact. We are very fortunate to have found a private sector partner that will join us in spearheading this endeavor. I recognize the Prime Infrastructure Capital, its joint venture Wawa JVCO, and the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System for your continuing commitment to building critical infrastructure systems that will address the needs of our people and of our country. Not only are these projects truly representative of what the government is working on to achieve infrastructure resilience, but this initiative also brings the most effective practices on environmental preservation. Indeed, the fruit of your meaningful collaboration, the Upper Wawa Dam, is a groundbreaking achievement, not only in providing a basic need for millions of Filipinos, but also in easing concerns on climate change-related challenges such as we have just gone through with the El Nino. In fact, Phase 1 of the project, or the Tayabasan Weir, has improved the water supply situation in Rizal by providing a substantial water source, benefiting both the residents and businesses. The water supply from the Wawa Bulk Water Supply Project is set to increase from 80 million today to 438 million liters per day once Phase 2 of the project of the Upper Wawa Dam starts its operations the end of 2025, which could increase to 710 million liters per day in the following years. These 438 to 710 million liters per day translate to supporting the water supply needs of about 2.2 to 3.5 million Filipinos in the MWSS service area. This dam will also foster climate resilience amongst our people by protecting our communities downstream from flooding and by mitigating the detrimental effects of drought. It also complements other groundbreaking projects we are currently undertaking across the country, which aim to provide reliable and potable water supply, especially in the countryside and in the far-flung areas. Without a doubt, the progress that we have made here at the Upper Wawa Dam is a significant stride towards our goal of social and economic transformation. I now ask the Prime Infra and its joint venture Wawa JVCO to continue collaborating with the DNR, prioritize watershed protection in the Upper Wawa Dam, as well as the reforestation and biodiversity preservation in the Upper Marikina River Basin protected landscape. Please continue implementing these innovative designs and practices in your initiatives so that you can uphold the delicate balance of our ecosystem and continue to reinforce our nation's resilience against ecological adversities. I also call on our stakeholders, particularly those operating other dams nationwide, to maximize the use of your facilities by integrating other uses for the captured water, such as for the generation of renewable energy. Let us work together in this endeavor to create a more sustainable and energy-efficient future for our nation. Water is a finite resource, while the demand for it is ever increasing. We need to use water wisely, as many times and for as many purposes as possible. We need to build more multi-purpose dams to ensure water supply, not only for drinking, but also for irrigation, power generation, flood control, aquaculture, and hopefully other technologies that we may engage in the future. I likewise call upon every Filipino to amplify our efforts to conserve the country's water resources. Let us remember
that the stewardship of these resources is not just a task, but a shared responsibility of us all. Rest assured that this administration remains firm in its resolve to pursue a more transformative endeavor that will champion the optimal health and growth of Filipinos across the country. We will continue to address water security challenges to ensure that every Filipino has access to sufficient and clean water. At the end of the day, water remains at the core, not only for human survival, but also for national development. Water is life. Water is life for human beings. Water is life for our economy. Water is life. Let us not only consider this as a milestone in our nation's development, but also as a symbol of our collective determination to lead better lives and shape a more promising bagong Pilipinas for the Filipinos. Thank you and congratulations to everyone for bringing us to this extremely important day that we commemorate with great pride and gratitude.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Following the announcement of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. that the country was selected to host the board of the Lost and Damaged Fund, or LDF, on Tuesday, the President on Wednesday elaborated on how important the LDF is for the country. In a media interview after his attendance at the impounding process ceremony at the Upper Wawa Dam in Montalban, Rizal Province, the chief executive said that since the Philippines will be hosting the LDF board, the country has a strong voice and can say its mind with regards to the subject matter. The Loss and Damage Fund is the global finance mechanism to assist developing countries in responding to economic and non-economic loss and damage associated with climate change, including extreme weather and slow onset events. The board, as the fund's decision-making body, is responsible for setting the strategic direction, operations, and work program of the mechanism.
Mahalaga ito dahil yung Loss and Damage Fund, yan ang pondo na binibigay ng mga developed countries, mga mayayaman na bansa. Yan ang kanilang pondo na ibibigay para ayusin yung mga naging problema sa environment dahil nga sa industrialization na ginawa nila. At sinasabi nila may damage, may loss ang mga developing countries dahil sa industrialization ng mga mayayaman na bansa. Ngayon, nag-agree ang mga developed countries, kung tawagin, nag-agree ang developed countries na magbubuo sila ng pondo para mabigyan ang developing countries naman ng tulong. Dahil itong climate change na nangyari na ito ay dahil sa industrialization. At kaya naman ang sinasabi natin, ang mga, halimbawa, gawin na lang natin halimbawa yung Pilipinas. Ang Pilipinas ay wala namang kinalaman sa climate change. Wala tayong ginagawa, wala tayong linalagay sa environment na sumira at nagkaroon ng global warming, nagkaroon ng mga El Nino na ganito, mga bagyo na ganito. Wala naman tayong kinalaman dyan. Kaya naman dapat suportahan tayo ng mga developed countries. Ang magdedesisyon kung saan ilalagay yung pondo na yan ay nasa Loss and Damage Fund Board. Ngayon, ang Loss and Damage Fund Board ay mag-host ay ang Pilipinas. Kaya naman, magiging malaki ang ating impluensya para lahat ng ating pangangailangan, lahat ng ating pananaw tungkol dito sa subject matter na ito, ay maaari nating sabihin at maaari magka-influence tayo. Sasabihin natin, hindi nyo na naisip ito o ang kailangan nyo na gawin ay ganito. Lahat ng mga ganyan, may boses tayo na malakas Yan ang pinaka-importanteng resulta sa pag-host ng Pilipinas sa Loss and Damage Fund Board.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
In the same media interview Wednesday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said Malacañang will release a detailed report to the public to thoroughly explain the contents of his third State of the Nation address, or Sona, later this month. The president said preparations for his Sona speech are underway, although he admitted their predicament on how to fit the lengthy government report into an hour-long talk. The chief executive said that is why they came up with a brief. President Marcos added that the report would be provided to the public, including members of the press, the private sector, and schools, to offer a detailed explanation and updates on the government's programs, plans, and activities. The Philippine president delivers the Sona every year, usually every last Monday of July, to report the state of the country, unveil the administration's agenda, and ask Congress to pass priority measures.
Yun lamang, sa totoo lang, ang pinaka-problema namin ay paano namin ipagkakasa lahat doon sa isang Sona ng mga isang oras na salita. Kaya ang ginawa namin ay meron kaming ginawang brief, ganun kakapal, which is a report to the nation which goes into the detail. The detail that I cannot go into during the Sona dahil masyadong mahaba. Kaya we will provide that to, of course, the media and to all our other partners, both private sector, both in the public sector, pati sa mga eskwela, lahat, para malaman ng tao kung ano yung ginagawa natin at kung yung mga pangako na ating sinabi kung talaga nating tinutupad. And that's basically what the Sona is going to look like.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday directed the Philippine National Police, or PNP, and the Department of Justice, or DOJ, to come up with steps to ensure the safety of prosecutors. Speaking at the signing of the DOJ National Prosecution Service, or NPS, rules on criminal investigation at Malacañang Palace, the President recognized the crucial role of prosecutors in the administration of justice. The Chief Executive also urged the country's prosecutors to become shepherds of highest integrity, ethics, and impartiality in the administration of justice. The signing of the DOJ NPS rules, President Marcos said, marks one of the significant reforms in the Philippine justice system. President Marcos Jr. said the new rules will institutionalize the executive and inquisitorial nature of preliminary investigations in line with the legal precedents and reinforcing the DOJ's authority in this domain. The Philippine President said the guidelines will also complement existing prosecutorial functions, empowering the DOJ to take a proactive role in the investigation of crimes and ensure efficient case buildups. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
We mark today one of the significant reforms in our country's justice system. It's no secret that our courts' dockets have been heavily burdened with a volume of cases, causing delays in the administration of justice. Today, we address this problem by introducing reforms that are a product of the strong collaboration between the executive and the judiciary. With the signing of the 2024 Department of Justice National Prosecution Service, or DOJ NPS rules on preliminary investigations and inquest proceedings, we are moving towards a shared goal of a more robust and responsive legal system. The 2024 DOJ NPS rules are transformative as they institutionalize the executive and inquisitorial nature of preliminary investigation, bringing them in line with historical and legal precedents that reinforce the authority of the Department of Justice. Through this, all prosecutors are now empowered to take the lead in criminal investigations, ensuring that there is proper and sufficient case buildup before filing in court. These new rules and procedures ensure fairness and due process as we protect all of our citizens, including the accused, and hold the guilty accountable. The new rules elevate the quantum of evidence from probable cause to prima facie evidence with a reasonable certainty of conviction. This means that only strong cases are brought to trial, reducing frivolous suits and malicious prosecution that clog our courts. Veering away from the procedures that were more rigid, the new procedure now allows the submission of additional documents, enabling a more comprehensive examination of the case. The inquest proceedings also improve, providing a detailed process for handling warrantless arrests, including the filing of referral letters, submission of required evidence, provisional determination of arrest validity, and submission of lacking evidence. This ensures that the rights of the accused are protected, even in urgent situations. The 2024 DOJ NPS rules also make use of our technology. Adopting the e-filings and virtual hearings are a testament to our commitment to digitalize government services throughout the country. And through this, we aim to make our justice system more efficient by streamlining processes, cutting down delays, making justice more accessible to everyone. At the crux of these reforms is instilling accountability of the prosecutors to the public. The period set in resolving preliminary investigation complaints will guarantee that cases will be evaluated and resolved within a reasonable time. Our prosecutors are vital to the administration of justice. Given this role, we recognize the threats that you face in this line of duty. I direct the DOJ and the PNP to recommend ways to help ensure the safety and protection of our prosecutors. I want to take this moment to acknowledge the efforts of everyone who has worked tirelessly to make this historic day possible. We thank the Supreme Court for granting the executive branch the authority to craft the rules on criminal investigation. I am reliably informed by the Secretary Remulla that this has been 9.5 years in the making. And in that time, each of you has played a crucial role in making this a reality, whether through meticulous legal research, drafting, advocating for these much-needed reforms. To our prosecutors, you have your work now cut out for you. You are not just gatekeepers, but also the shepherds of the highest integrity, ethics, and impartiality in the administration of justice. We are all stepping into a new era of law enforcement and prosecution. And knowing that, from here onwards, every case we handle, every decision we make, every reform we champion will impact the lives of every single Filipino, and it will shape the future of our country. So, guided by the principles of justice and our unwavering belief in the rule of law, let us strive to bring a better and a just future for our people and our nation.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Still on Wednesday, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said he will issue an executive order or EO to institutionalize the development plan for small businesses in the country. In his speech during the 2024 Presidential Awards for Outstanding Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises or MSMEs at the Malacañang Palace, the President said He will be institutionalizing this plan through an executive order that will set the specific roles and outline the procedures and activities for all involved agencies. The chief executive bared that currently the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, is working with the MSME Development Council and the Office of the President to finalize the executive order. Let's listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
We are here today for a very important commemoration as we recognize the recipients of the 2024 Presidential Awards for Outstanding Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises and the Presidential Recognition for Outstanding Development Partners. Standing before us are the dreamers, the risk-takers, and innovators who are helping us to accelerate the growth of our economy and of our society. The first batch that we will recognize today will be our Outstanding Development Partners, a diverse group coming from various local government units, national government agencies, the academe, and NGOs. By improving the local business climate, encouraging access to finance, markets, technologies, and innovations, and enhancing management and labor capacities, these awardees have helped prime local businesses to flourish and to succeed. Because of their steadfast support, they enabled entrepreneurs to focus on what they do best, which is to create jobs, opportunities, and growth. Our next batch of awardees are the MSMEs that have shown excellent capacity, not only in generating revenue, but also in encouraging sustainability, social justice, and ecological awareness in all that they do. Truly, they show us what an ideal local enterprise should look like: environmentally conscious, community-driven, and socially responsible. It is important not only for us to show our appreciation to them, but also to encourage other government and non-government entities, academic institutions, entrepreneurs to follow their example. You can expect that this administration will continue to conduct activities like these to highlight the exemplars in this sector, with the hope of promoting their best practices throughout the country. Apart from this, the government, through the DTI, will continue to lead the MSME Development Council in formulating a comprehensive strategy that will foster dynamic industry ecosystem for our businesses. Aptly titled the MSME Development Plan 2023 for 2028, this strategic roadmap is structured around further improving the business environment, enhancing the skills and innovation, and expanding market access. We will be institutionalizing this plan through an executive order that will set the specific roles and outline the procedures and activities for all involved agencies. Currently, the DTI is working with the MSME Development Council and the Office of the President to finalize this executive order. So let us collaborate on this endeavor and remind us that the way forward for MSMEs lies in our ability to innovate, collaborate, and to persevere. Let us remember that we sustain our patronage of support for and solidarity with our local businesses. For every enterprise that we support, every innovation that we foster, every product that we bring to market, we create the opportunities for our fellow Filipinos to succeed and to build inroads for our economy to thrive and to prosper. With this foremost in our minds, let us continue moving forward and pushing the boundaries for our MSMEs and hence our economy. Congratulations to all our outstanding MSMEs and development partners. We certainly appreciate your contributions in helping us achieve a more prosperous Bagong Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
The day has not come to an end for the busy Philippine leader as President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday expressed optimism about the economic gains that the recently green-lighted Tarlac Pangasinan-La Union Expressway or TLEX extension project will provide the country. Speaking at the signing of the concession agreement for the TLEX extension project, the President said the project will usher further economic development in northern Luzon. Spanning 59.4 kilometers, the TLEX extension project is a 4-lane toll road with 5 interchanges starting from the last exit of the TLEX in the municipality of Rosario in La Union Province until the municipality of San Juan, also in La Union Province. Once completed, this 23.36 billion peso public-private partnership or PPP between the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH and San Miguel Holdings Corporation is expected to reduce travel time between Rosario and San Juan from the current 1.5-hour travel time to around 40 minutes. Let's listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
In 2022, we introduced our infrastructure program, building and expanding on the achievements of my predecessors. Build Better More is more than just a slogan. It is almost a battle cry. Our commitment to ensure that our motivation, our efforts, and our plans are fixed towards one crucial goal: the betterment of the welfare of the Filipino people. For if we aim to improve the lives of our people, it is not enough to build for the sake of building. The keywords are build and better, as it is also important to be strategic, to be focused in our pursuits to propel the nation's economy forward. With the signed concession agreement for the Tarlac Pangasinan-La Union Expressway or TLEX extension project, we are now witnessing another milestone that brings into fruition the Build Better More infrastructure program. The TLEX extension project exemplifies our dedication to progress, the extension of our dreams, and the opportunities we want to give to our people. This almost 60-kilometer 4-lane toll road, which will cost over 23 billion pesos, will extend the present terminus of the TLEX from Rosario to San Juan in La Union. What does that mean? Remembering how the TLEX became a driver of economic growth in central and northern Luzon when it was completed, we expect this extension to generate an even greater flurry of activity in Luzon. Once finished, this extension will reduce the travel time between Rosario and San Juan from the current 90-minute travel time to about 40 minutes, resulting in smoother and safer journeys for those who wish to go to La Union and the Ilocos and Cordillera regions. Aside from bringing in tourists and economic activities more quickly to the northern part of the country, it will also bring resources and food faster to the southern parts of Luzon. So we also expect it to forge value-adding partnerships among agriculture, industry, and tourism enterprises in the area as it links vital regional corridors and hubs. This will, of course, generate a significant number of decent jobs and more opportunities for all. With all these projections that we can look forward to, I wish to extend my appreciation to everyone involved, especially, of course, to San Miguel Holdings Corporation. You really have been a steadfast partner of the government through the years. Let us keep that partnership strong and vibrant. I expect nothing less than to see the same mark of quality that we have witnessed from your past endeavors. Not only are you embarking on another challenge of turning visions into reality, you are also leading a brilliant example of how the private sector can have a great impact on our country's development. Indeed, with more meaningful public-private partnerships like this, we can pursue and gain more for the benefit of the nation. Of course, DPWH and the other government agencies have been an important part for helping us shape this vision and slowly bring it to fruition. All stakeholders can expect that this government and its entire machinery will provide the necessary support to complete this venture. In turn, I appeal to San Miguel Holdings Corporation to complete the TLEX Extension Segment 1 by 2028 and all other sections as scheduled to ensure that every person involved in this project, whether in the office or in the construction zone, will work with determination and integrity day in and day out. As I said earlier, build better more is more than just a tagline. Just as this project is more than another item to add to our list of accomplishments, it is a chance for each of us to build a bagong Pilipinas that will bring comfort and prosperity to our people and the generations to come. May our collective efforts bring better roads and a more sustainable and progressive future for us all. A very hearty congratulations to all involved in this grand project, and I wish you all the success in the future.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
The administration of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has delivered nearly 28 billion pesos worth in financial assistance and services to help improve the lives of Filipinos in the Calabarzon region, which covers the provinces of Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon. In his speech during the distribution of financial aid to farmers and fisherfolk in Cavite province on Thursday, the president said the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, has distributed 11.23 billion pesos for the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or 4Ps, beneficiaries, indigent senior citizens, and individuals in crisis situation. The chief executive noted that about 11 million pesos worth of livelihood assistance was extended to support 827 micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, through the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI's Pangkabuhayan sa Pangbangon at Ginhawa, or DTI PPG program. President Marcos said the administration has released 9.9 billion pesos for the Philippine Rural Development Plan to promote and develop modern and climate-smart agriculture and fishery sectors in the southern Tagalog region. Let's listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Nagtitipon tayo dito sa duyan ng Rebolusyong Pilipino at ang sinilangan ng kalayaan ng Pilipinas ang probinsya ng Cavite. Habang inaalala ang di matatawarang sakripisyo ng ating mga ninuno, atin ding kinikilala ang pagsisikap ng mga makabagong bayani ng Cavite. Walang iba kung hindi ang ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Sa amin pong datos, mahigit 4,700 magsasaka at mangingisda ang direktang naapektuhan noong nakaraang El Nino dito sa Calabarzon. Kung kaya naman kami ay naririto upang magbigay ng tulong pinansyal at iba pang suporta sa mga naapektuhan ng mga magsasaka, ng mga mangingisda at kasama din po riyan ang kanilang mga pamilya. Bilang panimula, nais kong ipabatid na ang tanggapan ng Pangulo ay ang magbibigay ng 10,000 piso sa ilang magsasaka, mangingisda at pamilya dito sa Cavite, kasama na ang mga taga-lalawigan ng Rizal. Ang kabuuang halaga ng tulong na ibabahagi namin ay mahigit 12 milyong piso para sa mga benepisyaryo sa Cavite at lagpas naman sa 14 na milyong piso para naman sa mga taga-Rizal. Sa pangunguna naman ng Department of Agriculture, mamamahagi tayo ng sari-saring punla pataba, at ilang kagamitan, pansaka, tulad ng mga traktora, mga combine harvester, multitiller, rice thresher, hauling truck, at pump and engine set. Andyan po yung mga ibang sample ay nakita nyo po sa labas. Ang BIFAR ay namamahagi rin ng bangka na dimotor at sari-saring kagamitan para sa ating mga mangingisda. Kasama rin po natin dito ang DOLE na magbibigay na higit 2 milyong piso sa ilalim ng tupad para sa higit na 400 benepisyaryo at higit 1 milyong piso naman na tulong sa ilalim ng Integrated Livelihood Program para sa 50 benepisyaryo dito sa Cavite. Ang TESDA patuloy din na tumutulong. Sila ay namamahagi ng scholarship referral na nakakahalaga na mahigit 28 milyong piso. Ilang starter toolkit na nakakahalaga na mahigit 250,000 piso at pondo na nakakahalaga na higit 140,000 piso bilang training support fund. Kasabay nito, andyan din po ang DTI, Department of Trade and Industry, na maghahandog ng mga tulong sa ilalim ng One Town, One Product Next Gen Program, Coconut Farmers Industry Development Fund, Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, Kapatid Mentor Me Program, at marami pa na mga programa nito. Ang DSWD ay may mamamahagi ng tigsa 10,000 piso sa 12,000 benepisyaryo sa ilalim ng Ayuda sa Kapus ang Kita Program o AKAP. At siyempre po, hindi rin magpapahuli ang opisina ng ating mga congressman. At mula sa tanggapan ng House Speaker Martin Romualdez, sila naman ay mamamahagi ng tigli 5 kilong bigas para sa lahat na dumalo sa okasyong ito ngayon. Ngunit, bukod po rito, nais ko rin pong ipabahagi ang ilan sa mga inisyatiba ng inyong pamahalaan para sa ikauunlad ng kabuhayan ng mga mamamayan ng Cavite at ng Rizal. Sa larangan ng infrastruktura, malapit na pong matapos ang ating LRT1 Cavite Extension Project. Ito po ay magbibigay ng kaginhawaan sa ating mga pasahero. Kasalukuyan na rin pong ginagawa ang Cavite-Laguna Expressway, Cavite Segment at South Luzon Expressway Toll Road 4 para maging mabilis at maginhawa ang paglalakbay ng ating mga kababayan. Ginagawa na rin po natin ang Cavite Industrial Area Flood Risk Management Project para maibsan ang pagbaha dito sa Cavite. Sa larangan naman po ng agrikultura, naglaan tayo ng halos 10 bilyong piso para sa Philippine Rural Development Plan sa Calabarzon na naglalayong isulong at paunlarin ang isang moderno at climate-smart na sektor ng agrikultura at pangisdaan sa rehiyon. Kabilang naman sa mga makakatanggap ng inilaan nating 11 bilyong piso para sa rehiyon ang mga benepisyaryo ng Pantawid Pamilya Program o yung 4-piece program para sa mga indigent, pati na kasama ang indigent senior citizen at ang mga individual at pamilyang nahaharap sa krisis. Bukod pa rito, 11 milyong piso ang nilaan sa programang Pangkabuhayan sa Pagbangon at Ginhawa o yung PPG ng Department of Trade and Industry na tumutulong sa mga micro, small at medium enterprises. Ito po yung mga maliliit po na negosyo na ito ang buhay talaga ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas, kaya kailangan po natin tulungan ang mga nakikipagsapalaran at nagtatayo ng kahit na maliliit lamang na negosyo. Ay marami po tayong magagawa para tulungan kayo, para pagandahin ang inyong pamumuhay. At kasama na rin dyan ay patitibayin natin ang ating ekonomiya. Sa larangan naman ng edukasyon, naglaan tayo ng 4 bilyong piso para sa pagtayo ng higit 1,000 bagong silid-aralan at halos 240 milyong piso para sa pagkukumpuni ng halos 400 silid-aralan sa buong rehiyon. ang Commission on Higher Education o CHED ay naglaan ng 460 milyong piso para sa 20,000 mga scholar sa rehiyon. Para naman sa kalusugan ng mga tiga Region 4, naglaan tayo ng pondong nakakahalaga ng 1 bilyon at 600 milyon piso para sa mga pasilidad pangkalusugan sa rehiyon sa ilalim ng Health Facilities Enhancement Program. Nariyan din po ang mahigit 250 milyong piso para sa pagpapatayo ng Northern Tagalog Regional Hospital sa Rodriguez, Rizal. Minamahal kong mga kababayan, ang mga inisyatibong ito ay sumasailalim sa ating pangako na mapapabuti ang buhay ng mga mamamayan ng Calabarzon. Tandaan po natin na kung ang Cavite ay naging tahanan ng ating mga bayani at kalayaan noon, ito rin ang magiging duyan ng pag-asa at pag-unlad ng ating bansa sa hinaharap nating mga panahon. Tinatawagan ko po ang lahat ng mga narito ngayon. Tinatawagan ko po lahat ng mga narito ngayon. Magtulungan po tayo sa sama-sama nating pagkilos para sa kaunlaran. Isang bagong Pilipinas ang ating makakamtan. Ito po ay ating pinapangarap para pagandahin ang buhay ng Pilipino at para pagandahin ang Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has vetoed the measure seeking to introduce organizational reforms in the Philippine National Police or PNP. In a statement issued on Thursday, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin said President Marcos, with careful consideration, has decided to veto the proposed PNP reform bill to ensure that any changes in the country's police force are fair, clear, and truly beneficial to everyone involved. Bersamin said the proposed measure enables changes to police salaries that could cause unfair disparities among officers. The Executive Secretary further noted that proposed offices within the PNP could lead to unnecessary bureaucracy and inefficiency. Bersamin added the proposal could also compromise the vital independence of the Internal Affairs Service or IAS, noting that the body responsible for investigating police misconduct should remain independent and impartial. He pointed out that some parts of the bill are unclear, particularly regarding retroactive benefits for officers. In his veto message, President Marcos said the provisions under the bill run counter to administrative policy and efficiency. The chief executive said the proposed law may create pay disparities among police cadets as well as overlapping functions and redundancies due to the creation of ambiguous offices. The bill seeks the institutionalization of offices created by the National Police Commission or NAPOLCOM, such as the Directorial Staff, Area Police Command or APC, special offices, and strengthened national administrative and operational support units.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Friday led the distribution of various government assistance to farmers, fisherfolk, and their families at the Senator Edgardo Angara Convention Center in Baler, Aurora Province. During the event, the President turned over farm machinery to local farmers and fisherfolk aimed at boosting agricultural efficiency in Aurora. Additionally, he handed over 10,000 pesos each to 10 selected beneficiaries from the province. Furthermore, the provincial government of Aurora received 10 million pesos to support local development projects aimed at enhancing the quality of life in the province and provided 5 kilograms of rice to each attendee. On the same day, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, disbursed 10,000 pesos to each of the 10,000 beneficiaries. Several key government agencies, including the Department of Agriculture, or DA Region 3, Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation, or PCIC, Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization, or PhilMech, Agricultural Credit Policy Council, or ACPC, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BIFAR, Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, DSWD, and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, were also present to provide essential support and assistance. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Sa bawat umaga dito sa Aurora, bumubungad po ang araw sa kagandahan ng ating mga bukid at dagat. Mga obra ng ating may kapal na siyang namang nilinag na ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Subalit, ang haring araw na nagpapayabong sa ating mga pananim ay siya rin ang nagdala ng matinding pagsubok sa ating kamakailan lamang. Matinding init ang dinanas ninyo dahil sa El Nino na nagdulot ng malaking pinsala sa maraming lugar dito po sa Region 3. At ikinasira ang mga pananim na umabot sa mahigit 360 milyong piso ang nawala sa hanap buhay ng inyong mga magsasaka at ang ating mga mangingisda. At hindi pa man humupa ang dalang hirap ng El Nino, nagkaroon naman tayo ng mga engkwentro sa pagitan ng hukbong sandatahan ng Pilipinas at ang mga grupo na Dipakulaw at Maria Aurora. At ang mga insidenteng ito ay nakakaapekto sa higit 3,600 pamilya sa 14 na barangay sa nasabing lugar. Bilang tugon, ang DSWD Region 3 at ang mga lokal na pamahalaan ay nagbibigay ng relief assistance na nagkakahalaga ng 1,200,000 piso sa mga apektadong pamilya at individual. Kaya po kami nagpunta rito ngayon ay upang magbigay ng kaunting tulong sa ating mga magsasaka, mangingisda at ang kanilang mga pamilya na labis na naapektuhan ng mga nagdaang tuyot. Bilang pambungad, masaya ko pong ibinabalita sa inyo na magbibigay ang ating tanggapan, ang Office of the President, ng tigsa 10,000 piso para sa bawat benepisyarong magsasaka, mangingisda at mga pamilya na naapektuhan ng krisis. Ang kabuuhang halaga ng 10 milyong piso para sa 1,000 benepisyaryo ay ipapamahagi natin sa tulong ng inyong pamahalaang panlalawigan. Sa pangunguna ng DSWD, namamahagi din po tayo ng tigsa 10,000 piso para sa 10,000 benepisyaryo sa ilalim ng AKAP program. Ang pamahalaang lokal ng lalawigan ng Aurora naman ay mamamahagi din ng tigli 5 kilong bigas para sa lahat ng dumalo sa araw na ito, kayong pong lahat na nandito ngayon. Ngunit po, hindi natatapos dyan ang tulong na dala namin sa inyo. Sa pangunguna ng ating kagawaran ng agrikultura, magbibigay tayo ng ilang unit na traktor, multitiller cultivator, pump, engine set, hammer mill, kasaba granulator, at ilang pang kagamitang pansaka. Mamamahagi din tayo ng mga fertilizer discount voucher, rice farmers financial assistance voucher, at fuel assistance card sa ating mga magsasaka. Isang animal quarantine facility na nagkakahalaga ng 10 milyong piso rin ay ipagkakaloob natin ngayon sa inyong lokal na pamahalaan. Maglalaan din po tayo ng pondo na nagkakahalaga ng 25 milyong piso na pautang para sa ating mga mangingisda at magsasaka. Ang BIFAR naman ay magbibigay ng bangka, payaw, tuna handline, bottom set long line at gillnet para sa ating mga benepisyaryong mangingisda. At upang maging maayos ang pagbili ng inyong nahuling isda, magbibigay din tayo ng fish vending equipment na nagkakahalaga ng 75,000 piso. Hindi po magpapahuli ang DOLE na magbibigay ng halos 400,000 piso para sa ating mga benepisyaryo ng Integrated Livelihood Program. At siyempre, andyan din po ang TESDA na naglalaan ng higit 1,700,000 piso para sa scholarships at halos 500,000 piso para sa training support fund. At ngayon naman, na parating na ang tag-ulan, nakahanda na rin po ang inyong pamahalaan sa anumang magiging epekto nito. Mayroon na tayong naka-preposition na relief supplies na nagkakahalaga na higit 180 milyong piso para sa buong Region 3. Natapos na rin ang Agwang River Flood Control Structure Project sa Baler. Ito po ay makakatulong upang mapigilan ang matinding pagbaha at malaking pinsala na dulot ng pag-apaw ng Agwang River. Sa puntong ito, nais ko rin pong ibalita ang ilan sa ating mga proyekto at inisyatibo na ginagawa dito sa probinsya ninyo sa Aurora. Kabilang sa mga proyektong ito ay ang pagpapasemento ng daan na nag-uugnay sa mga taniman ng nyug mula sa bayan ng Dinalungan patungo sa iba't ibang pamilihan sa lalawigan ng Aurora. Halos kalahati na rin ang natapos natin sa pagpapagawa ng Ningalan Baler Road Project na nakakahalaga na mahigit 4 bilyong piso. Ito po ay direktang mag-uugnay sa 2 tanyag na bayan ng Aurora upang mas mapabilis ang daloy ng kalakal, transportasyon at turismo sa inyong lugar. Isa ring hinahanapan natin ng solusyon ay ang mga inabandonang proyekto ng APECO na nagkakahalaga ng halos 800 milyong piso. Sadyang napakalaking kasayangan kung ang nangyari po rito na sana ay ngayon ay pinapakinabangan na ng mga mamamayan ng Aurora. Kasalukuyan natin inaaksyonan na po ang ating APECO President at CEO na si Hil Taway IV at napagdesisyonan na itigil at i-rebid ang mga kontrata upang tuluyan ng matapos ang mga proyekto sa lalong madaling panahon. Bukod dito, patuloy din ang pagbabalangkas natin sa paggawa ng Baler Airport Development Project. Mahalaga ito upang maaari nang makatanggap ng mas malaking eroplano at dumami pa ang pasahero na kaya nitong pagsilbihan. Nitong Hunyo lamang, naayos na po ng CAAP ang pagbibili ng mga lupa na kailangan natin para dito sa ngayong Agosto para nakatakdang ilabas na ang pondo sa mga may-ari ng lupa ng mga yan upang masimulan na ang ating konstruksyon. Matapos nito ay ang pagpapagawa naman ng passenger terminal building ng ating isusunod sa mamamayan ng Aurora. Sana po sa mga mamamayan ng Aurora, sana po ay maramdaman naman ninyo ang aming pagkalingas sa pagmamahal sa inyo. Muli ko pong pinapasalamatan ang ating mga bayani sa agrikultura at pangisdaan dito sa Aurora. Sa bawat punla ng inyong tinatanim, sa bawat huli sa karagatan ng inyong hinahangop. Binibigyan ninyo ng sigla ang ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Naway magsilbing inspirasyon ang mga dala naming tulong upang lalo pa ninyong pag-iibayuhin ang inyong pagtulong sa ating bayan. Sa ating pagkakaisa, maitataguyod natin ang ating sektor ng agrikultura at pangisdaan upang mapaunlad ang ating komunidad at ang ating bayan. Bilang isang bansa, tayo ay magsama-sama, tayo ay magtulungan at magkaisa sa pagtaguyod ng isang bagong Pilipinas. Ang isang Pilipinas na mas matatag, mas maunlad, mas makatao para sa bawat Pilipino.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.820 MHz, and 12.010 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang in Review. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.